Okay, real quick. Also, I think we should probably talk about how I'm rewatching Love Island.
Hello and welcome to Studs Up episode 10, finally after a week off.
And many technical difficulties.
Yep, and uploading late, which has become quite of a habit of ours recently, but I think we finally figured it out. My name is Ryan Oldham.
Garrett Love is here as always.
Mohammed Hodges is here.
Unfortunately.
Sounding pissed off about something.
Just life. Just life.
Life in general is quite pissing me the fuck off, mate.
Hey guys, I just want to say I bought 4 Mega Millions tickets today, and if you don't hear from me for the rest of our lives, you know why.
What's the jackpot?
470 mil, baby.
Wow.
When is the drawing?
Tonight.
Can I buy it still?
Yeah, I think you have until 8 o'clock, so after this, if you go buy it, you could.
You can do it online now too, I think.
I'm gonna buy 450 million of them.
And probably still wouldn't win.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Mohammed, I already have the winning ticket, so...
What if I double it?
Double down? You won't.
But me and Elma we finished obviously the newest season of Love Island a while ago, so we're watching season 3 right now. And
what was the newest season? Was season what?
4.
Okay, so you're rewatching, you're reliving the experience.
Nah, mate. We finished watching season 4, so we started watching season 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're reliving older experiences.
Bro, it's saucy. It is so much more than the 4th season. Like, the 4th season was so mild and tame, and we thought it was like, holy shit, these people are crazy. But then season 3, bro. There was like a fight after the 3rd episode. Like, there's been like so much bullshit going on. I love it. I'm like a teenage girl.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Like a teenage girl? Or?
Yeah, I'm like a little girl, bro.
I'm like one. Okay.
Do you like little girls?
Wow.
Dude, this is a public podcast.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave. Dave.
Just want to put it out there. I do not like little girls.
Hey, do we have a Dave Says this week?
No, the guy didn't email.
Dave, what the fuck?
Wow. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Thank God, man. We don't need an extra City fan in here.
Dave did go to the Champions League game.
Oh, nice.
City against Hoffenheim.
Nice.
And sent a few photos from there. Apparently, he got a little too drunk one night and was in bed for 8 p.m. So, good job, Dave. You did one for the boys. Love Island, moving on from that, because I think when season 5 comes along, maybe we will all have to watch it together so we can actually have a discussion on the podcast about it, because currently it's just Mohammed watching it with his wife. And
do any of your English friends watch it? Does your mom watch it?
No, my mom doesn't watch it, but a few of my English friends do, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I could be best friends with at least a majority of those guys.
Why is that? Why do you think that? What is it about their personalities that draws them to you?
Because they remind me of Garrett.
Aww.
Just
Dave.
Buff guys, then?
Just buff guys. But like, here's the funny part: if Garrett was on this show, he would stick out so much, because like they're just like Euro sleazy. Like, I've never seen. I wear tight pants, and I can't believe those pants could fit on them. Like, it's just Euro sleazy.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in America and you go to any bar ever, and you look at the guys there, they all dress the exact same. It's usually like a button up, either a short sleeve button up, long sleeve Ralph Lauren button up, either a fucking golf shirt, some chubbies on, and Sperry's. Am I correct?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Over there, it's like the exact same idea. They all dress the same. Everyone's wearing fucking white white skinnies, red trainers, the tightest shirt you could find, and it's every single guy wears that.
That's hot.
So that draws you to them then, because they dress like you, and you think that you could potentially be on there. Would you go on Love Island?
I'm married, bro.
If you weren't a married man, would you go on Love Island?
If I was, absolutely.
Because I don't know anything about the show. Is it like a competition?
Bro, so here's the thing.
It's like The Bachelor.
It's not. It's much better.
It's The Bachelor for chavs.
Yeah. Chavs. But basically, let's say I think there's 5 guys, 5 girls, and throughout the first week you got to couple up, right? You got to find a couple. You got to become a couple, and then like new people get entered. Old people leave. People get dumped. People choose a girl over another girl that they like. It's just fucking drama.
Yeah.
The whole entire time. The winning couple wins 50,000 quid, and it's not even that big of a deal because like that prize money isn't shit comparative to like how much money these motherfuckers make afterwards. Like they're all
yeah. I actually heard something that they make at least the average Love Island winner makes a couple £1 million in their lifetime, and that's like on average $1 million more than the average university graduate does.
Yeah, like they like one of them, she gets paid. She's like known to be like the most attractive woman to ever go on the show, and she gets paid I think like £10,000 to £15,000 per Instagram post.
The life.
And all of them are social dudes. All of them go around like clubs all over the UK and just promote.
Yeah,
sound like wankers.
Yeah, and I follow all of them on Instagram.
I bet.
Similar to Love, Mourinho. I don't know how to transition.
that was the word.
That was a great segue.
Because I love him and you hate him.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I suppose we can get into it. Probably, well, the 11 men on the pitch saved his job for him against Newcastle in a 3-2 win with a last-minute goal from Alexis Sanchez, which is completely out of the ordinary considering he's had a terrible season so far. Do you guys think, Garrett, I guess I'll go with you first, do you think he was going to get sacked first? I know we all saw the news article that said regardless of the result he's going to get sacked. It's now Tuesday, he hasn't been sacked yet, so presumably that was either false or the Newcastle result saved his job.
No, whenever I was watching the game, as soon as they scored the 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, I was like, he's getting sacked at halftime, bro. Like, I was like, he's not making it past half. But you guys dug it out. Did you score all 3 goals in the second half?
Yes.
That's what I thought. The boys, I think they did save his job for the time being. I think there's a lot of issues that you guys are having in the dressing room, particularly just players not getting along with him and him being Jose Mourinho and being, I don't know, stubborn or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I think it may have pushed it back at least a week. I think he still will be sacked, probably by Christmas.
Well, we are going into the international break, so
right. Yeah, he's got.
Presumably, he's got a couple weeks to
2 weeks
to turn it around. Mohammed, do you think he can? You love Mourinho.
No, I love Mourinho.
Let's preface this with you love Mourinho.
I love Mourinho. I absolutely love Mourinho. He's a Chelsea legend. He's a football legend. He's a legend in this game. Period. I think he's done. He will be sacked. Whether it's next week or in 3 months, he's going to be sacked. He's not going to be the manager next season. I feel like he will be sacked by Christmas, in my opinion. But I have a question for you.
Okay.
Was it Mourinho tactics that won the game, or was it players being like, you know what, let's turn up, let's play, or do you think it was Mourinho's brilliant mind at work?
I think it was a mixture of both. We've seen that Manchester United for 10 years straight, and probably even longer under Sir Alex Ferguson, played every single game how Manchester United played in the second half against Newcastle. Every single game went out with, don't be afraid of making mistakes in the opposition's half, because you're always going to be creating opportunities. So maybe one time it'll go bad, but better luck next time. Under the last 3 managers, that has been flipped on its head, where the big taboo is making a mistake in the opponent's half. So with Louis van Gaal, he was completely possession-based. If you lost the ball, it was, in his opinion, the end of the world. Mourinho, completely defensive-based, but with no real plan in attack, so it's slow as they move into attack, and if they lose the ball, they're scared of losing the ball because they don't really know what to do with it, because it seems to, and even at Chelsea, the drills that they did for defensive work were eclipsed attacking work. And then with Moyes before him, I just think he was out of his depth before LVG. So the last 3 managers have completely gone against the philosophy that Sir Alex Ferguson brought in terms of attacking football, not being afraid to lose the ball, always continuously creating chances. And what happened in the second half was basically, at half-time, Mourinho basically said, you've got nothing to lose. Nobody has anything to lose. You're already 2-0 down. There's really no reason for you to be scared anymore. There's no reason for you to be scared to lose the ball because we have to create chances. And
so pretty much what you're saying is that every single game they go into, they should try to be down at least 2 goals in the first half.
Yeah.
so they can play without fear.
I think what they need to do before every game for the rest of the season is to watch that first half against Newcastle and then go into a game thinking that they're 2-0 down.
Yeah.
With that mentality that there really is nothing to lose. But the reason that they were 2-0 down in the first place is also because of Mourinho's tactics, because he's going into games not letting them have the freedom of attack when they're in the opposition's half. Right. So if the defensive work fails, as much as they're drilling defensive work more so than any other because Mourinho is a defensive coach, when the defensive work fails, there doesn't seem to be any plan on the other end. It seems to be like they're not putting enough work in on the training field in attack, or that it's too much of a structured attack, too rigid, with no freedom. And then in the second half against Newcastle, it was pure freedom because that's literally all they could do. They couldn't be too structured because they had to score at least 2 goals, or Mourinho is sacked 5 minutes later, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Whether or not he was going to get sacked, I'm unsure on. The journalist doubled down on his report saying that he believes in his source and that Mourinho would get sacked. The earliest that they said they were going to hear was today about whether he was going to get sacked or not. Today meaning Tuesday, because of how Manchester United is structured on the New York Stock Exchange, they have to have a board meeting before they can agree to sack a manager. It's the end of Tuesday and it hasn't happened. New York Stock Exchange is closed. As far as I'm concerned, Mourinho stays at least another 2 weeks. But with games against Chelsea and Juventus as the next 2 games,
yeah.
If Manchester United don't come out against Chelsea, against Juventus, against Everton, Bournemouth, with the intensity, and they need to go out against those clubs without a care in the world, knowing that they're going to make mistakes. Mourinho needs to be able to accept that there are going to be mistakes. He needs to evolve as a coach, and obviously I think that's a long shot because we've been talking for years and years about how Mourinho doesn't evolve as a coach, and that's why his teams always seem to end up in this mess, because he doesn't evolve as the game evolves around him. If he can have a little bit of humility, understand what he's doing is wrong, and let his tactics evolve, we could probably see a serious change. But if he goes out against Chelsea like he did against West Ham or Valencia, I can't see him lasting after. I mean, they might give him the Chelsea game, but then if against Juventus at Old Trafford, that's probably going to be our toughest game of the season. Those 2 games, one after the other, and if you don't win one of them, I think it's over.
Yeah. let me ask you this first. What did you think about Pogba playing center back for a while?
It seemed to unleash something that we all knew was there. He got man of the match for his efforts as well.
He had a fantastic second half.
Yeah.
That flick, I've been thinking about it. I'm watching it right now, actually. Oh.
I think it unleashed a Pogba that we know exists. That and even after the game, I saw a Mourinho quote, and I think it was from 2016, that said that Pogba is a magnificent player and he'll make a great centre-back one day or something like that. And obviously,
yeah.
I mean, he was right. And I'm not going to say that Pogba needs to play in that position every week because he shouldn't.
No.
But he did completely rule the game. Spray balls to the left, to the right. He was there for the flick for Martial's goal. He contributed to every stage of play, and that is exactly what we know Pogba can do. So I guess in a way, seeing him at centre-back was a bit frustrating at first, but then when we saw how much it unleashed his potential, and especially I think it obviously helped that Newcastle were 2-0 up and they were happy to sit back. They thought, oh, maybe, Manchester United are finished. They're done. They're not going to come back. They're not the Manchester United of old, which they proved that at least for those 90 minutes or those 45 minutes they were.
Yeah.
So Newcastle aren't without fault either. They were probably a bit naive, but I think the comeback was honestly, I think it was in Pogba's hands. Obviously, he didn't score a goal. Martial scored a great goal from a Pogba assist. Sanchez scored, and Mata scored a free kick. But without Pogba on the pitch in that second half, I do not think there would have been a comeback.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Young being captain?
I don't really have any strong feelings on it, to be honest with you. It would have been Pogba's armband if we didn't have all the this. I mean, Manchester United is turning into Love Island at this point. It's just
you know what?
There's the segue.
That's a show. Oh my God, what a segue that would have been. You know what sounds more. I love it.
So I mean, there's just so much drama all the time. It's a constant newspaper back page club. It always has been because it comes with the territory. But this season has been so frustrating with Pogba saying, "I don't want to say anything, or I'll get killed, murdered," or I can't remember exactly what he said. That he didn't want to say something because he'd have some repercussions against him. Refusing to back the manager, then after the manager backed him all the time.
Yeah.
So the only reason Ashley Young had the captain's armband was because Pogba and Mourinho once again clashed. And that's a shame because with the performance that Pogba put in, the captain's armband would have been the icing on the cake. But I don't have any problem with Ashley Young being was the most senior player in that squad, so it's just something that it's a formality. I think the captain's armband at this point, this is a discussion we can have as well. I think honestly, it's lost some kind of relevance that it used to have. Like when captains like Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira, and maybe even to Vincent Kompany to an extent.
And John Terry, yeah.
And John Terry, yeah, absolutely. But
happy retirement, John Terry.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. JT, hit us up.
Yeah, you can come on. I think it's lost some kind of relevance at this point. Especially with how the game's evolved, it doesn't seem like the captain has as much influence as he used to have on a team. It seems more of a formality, like, oh, cool, he's the captain for this game. No team has a strong individual vocally like they used to have in the early 2000s and late 90s, in my opinion, anymore. I think the captain's armband doesn't mean anywhere near as much as it used to. So at this point, they could have given it to Rashford. It wouldn't have meant anything.
Yeah. The only thing I would say about the game, because I watched probably 70 minutes. I didn't watch the very end when you guys scored like 2 goals. Actually, no, I take that back. I saw Martial's goal. I didn't see Sanchez's goal right at the end. But you guys were playing Newcastle, and
that's what
against. I know, and that's my whole point is, against a team like Chelsea that you have coming up who's playing really good football, that those mistakes in the first half, it would have been 5-0 against Chelsea. Yep. So That's the only thing. Like, it was a good performance and it was a great comeback, but it was against one of the lowest teams on the table.
It's against the worst team in the league.
Yeah, well, Cardiff.
Well, yeah, could be.
but
Yeah.
no, it was against one of the.
Do not talk about United like that. They are not the worst team in the league. Zinger.
Well, I mean,
no, but,
yeah, I think that's why people seem to be getting ahead of themselves a lot with.
Yeah.
The old Manchester United are back. Yeah.
No, it was
maybe
Newcastle.
Maybe they are, maybe they're not.
Yeah,
but we have to remember that they were at home against arguably the worst team in the league.
Right. Yeah.
Who had scored before that game 4 goals all season, and then scored half of the amount of goals. I
couldn't even tell you the guy's name for Newcastle. He was an Asian fella. He scored their second goal. I'm pretty sure it was his first start of the season, and he just comes to Old Trafford, scores a goal to completely change the mood. Everyone looked so defeated after that goal. Like, Chris Smalling looked like he was just gonna cry out there.
Gary, while we were talking about captain, who's City's acting captain? It's Silva, right?
It's usually Silva or Fernandinho. Vinny's the best captain in the world.
So while we're talking about captains, Chelsea's club captain is Gary Cahill, and he's pushing to leave this winter, this January transfer. And Azpilicueta has been given the captain's armband this whole entire season so far. But they're in discussion over who's going to be their actual permanent captain, right? And Gary Cahill's looking for a loan. So, like, my guy's going to come back from his loan, just not captain anymore.
Right.
Well, I guess that's the discussion that we could maybe move into. Is does that really matter anymore? I
mean, if you look at every team in the league right now, I couldn't even tell you the most notable captain.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, back in the day, if you said who's Arsenal's captain, you would know it's either Patrick Vieira. I'm not sure if Tony Adams maybe did it a couple of times. You knew that Roy Keane was Manchester United's captain. You knew that Vincent Kompany was Manchester City's captain.
Right.
Now who's Bournemouth's captain? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's United's captain?
It changes every week. That's what I mean. Like, It's completely losing its meaning. It's not as meaningful as it used to be. I think
the most meaningful captain right now is Jordan Henderson.
Probably because he's English, I would imagine as well.
That's the most notable captain of an English team right now is Jordan Henderson, and he doesn't even start every game.
He played terrible this past weekend.
Who didn't?
Hey, one player I want to shout out really quick. Aymeric Laporte. He is turning into a pretty damn good central defender.
Well, he was only the hottest property probably in the past 5 years.
Yeah, but no.
How much was he? 40 million?
More than that. He was like almost 70, almost.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He better be good for that money.
I think. But no, I was extremely unimpressed with him at first, but the last few games, I have been really impressed. I love him at the center defense. Him and John Stones are actually turning into a pretty good partnership, I think. But he's impressing the hell out of me. He got the man of the match the other day. He played a really good game against a really, really good attacking Liverpool team. So I was really impressed. Yeah, good lad, that lad. Yeah, he could marry my daughter if he wanted.
Really?
Yeah, no. Back to the captain talk. Vinny Kompany, he doesn't play really anymore for us because, it's either Stones, Laporte, or Otamendi. Otamendi will come in for Stones some games. But, yeah, I think Vinny Kompany is, like, the last huge club captain that, like, is a really commanding force out on the field because he really is. Like, I love it when he's out there, getting the guys going and making sure they're doing what they need to do. But, he just doesn't play anymore.
Eden Hazard is the best player in Europe right now. I just needed to put it out there. I needed to say it. I said it.
And moving on. Okay.
So let's just, really quickly, obviously we went on quite a few tangents there. If we can just finish the Manchester United discussion, because obviously it's a big deal. I think what needs to happen at Manchester United, and try to be as objective as possible, is that if Jose Mourinho can change the culture in that dressing room away from the last 5 or so years of bad coaching and tactics, and move away from a defensive and rigid strategy and go more towards a loose and not afraid of making mistakes type game, he can really turn the season around. But if he plays like the Mourinho I know, then I think he will be gone a lot sooner rather than later, because it just there is zero improvement. The only improvement we've seen is when Manchester United can play free-flowing, attacking football. That's the only time over the last 3 years that we've seen Manchester United play well. Other than that, under Mourinho's rigid strategy, they don't play well. It's not that kind of team. I think if he reverts back to his old ways, he is gone after Juventus.
Yeah, I would agree. If not sooner, if not Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea, you can understand just from the way they're playing right now, but I wouldn't be shocked if you guys lose to Chelsea if he was gone. But I guess that would, I mean, because Juventus is probably, 3 days after you play Chelsea?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't think they do it then, just because it's so close. I take that back then. But, okay, yeah, after Juventus.
Okay, so moving on, we're going to talk about Arsenal, who are playing excellent football and finally seeming to gel under Emery, flying under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of it,
I have not thought about them. I have not thought about them since the beginning of the season.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Now they're on they're on an unbeaten streak of quite a lot. They have obviously fixed any problems that came at the beginning of the season. Obviously, they did play Chelsea and Manchester City very early. No, not easy teams to play against, but recently winning in the Europa League as well as the Premier League, and kind of destroying teams along the way. Most recent was 5-1 against Fulham, who I backed to finish in the top 6. So I don't know about that. Ahead of Arsenal, I think. So, Garrett, I think you've been watching a bit more Arsenal than I have.
I actually haven't been watching. I've just been seeing highlights. But I do have Aubameyang on my fantasy team, which we'll talk about later. But so, I pay attention kind of just because I have him and I want him to score so I can beat you guys. Right.
Obviously.
5-1 Fulham, 2-0 against a pretty good Watford team. Then you got 2-0 against a decent Everton team right now. 2-1 against a Newcastle that United can barely beat.
Hey, but we did though.
I know. It was a really good comeback. I'm not gonna lie. But they're playing really well. They're not allowing a ton of goals anymore, and they're scoring a lot of goals. So I really haven't been watching. I don't know if they've changed a lot with the players they put out there. But they're scoring goals. Everything seems to be moving well. I'm going to be really interested when they come up against another top 6 team the next time. I don't know when that is, but whenever that happens, I'm really interested to see how they do, because that's going to be the next big test, is can they stack up against the big boys. They play Liverpool on November 3rd is the next big team they play.
And we've finally actually seen Liverpool start to kind of shake a little bit. Bit.
And I think that the draw this past weekend for Liverpool is harder on them than it was on us. So I think it means more that they drew than that City drew. So I think they're starting to, just because we're still in first, they dropped to third, and they don't feel I don't know. I just don't seem to feel the same swagger that they thought they had at the beginning of the season.
Sure.
But this isn't about Liverpool. I have enough hatred towards Liverpool that we could talk about another day. Anyway, Arsenal playing really well. Bournemouth, another team I don't think anyone expected to play as well as they're playing this year. Eddie Howe's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Scored 4 goals this past weekend. and they're in sixth place right now, doing really well. 16 points through 8 games for a team like Bournemouth is huge. So props to Bournemouth. And Joshua King and Callum Wilson both playing really well right now, scoring a lot of goals.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Europa League's going really well for Arsenal. It's definitely a competition that that they're going to be fighting for, because it's automatic qualification for the Champions League if you win it, and they're not necessarily going to finish top 4. I mean, based on their form, you'd think, yep, they're going to get top 4. But with just how well City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Tottenham are playing right now, you'd never know. It's going to be it's going to be really tough to know who's going to win that fourth spot. I think top 3 we can probably agree on at this point. But in terms of fourth, it's going to be a toss-up, so it could be a kind of a case of a Manchester United 2 years ago, where they kind of gave up on the league and won the Europa League instead, because they knew that was the route to the Champions League. So yeah, only 2 games into the Europa League right now, but they've won both. They're yet to play. The biggest test is going to be against Sporting, who they have next. But in terms of progression from the group stage, I don't see it being a problem. The only issue I see is against Sporting away. When Sporting go to the Emirates, I can't see a problem there either. So Arsenal, I think, are a shoe-in to go through. Chelsea are a shoe-in to go through the Europa League group stages as well. So it could set up quite an interesting later couple rounds if Arsenal and Chelsea do meet, because they're both playing some great football at the moment.
I think we're doing a fantastic job in the Europa League right now, and I think Chelsea is favorites to win it.
Would you like to see a Chelsea Arsenal latter round tie?
I would love to see a Chelsea Arsenal final, mate.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can't. A Chelsea Arsenal final would be excellent. We can't predict how the draw is going to go. I think they keep the English teams away from each other for at least the second round and the third round. I'm not sure exactly how it works. But Chelsea Arsenal final would be excellent. Obviously, you like to see that in any competition.
Absolutely.
But I think if it came down to it, Chelsea v Arsenal, I think I'd have to go for Chelsea in the Europa League. Based on current form, based on players, based on a lot of different factors.
I mean, having the best player in Europe right now really does help us out.
I was gonna say Hazard alone.
That's very true. Yeah.
Just being the best player in Europe.
He's above average.
And yeah, with Chelsea have won 2 of 2, and you really don't have a challenger in that group that you could think, maybe Chelsea will finish second to X. Nope, nobody.
Yeah.
That is a group that you should win all 6 games out of.
Oh, easily. Arsenal, I was expecting them to be in 4th place, in the beginning of the season, because they're currently 4th. That is a pun and a joke.
Good one.
But Bournemouth, I'm really, really happy about, just because, fellow countrymen align with each other. I think they're the more impressive team than Arsenal is, because Arsenal, I think, is doing what I expect Arsenal to do. I did not expect them to perform as complete ass as they did in the first part of the season so far. So how they're playing right now, and what they're doing right now, pretty much there with Arsenal. Yeah, you guys are doing exactly what you're supposed to be, being in 4th place and all. But Bournemouth, really, I'm very impressed with them. It's being 6th. This, I almost just said this late in the season, but it's only 8 games played.
Oh, it feels like it's been forever at this point.
Oh, I know.
Man.
Yeah, it's such a shame for you guys. It just feels like forever, doesn't it?
Yeah, for me especially.
Being unbeaten in the league must be so taxing on you.
Yeah. I get exhausted having to scroll down on my iPhone and at the other teams that are underneath us. It just fucking blows.
Yeah, it must really be annoying when you open the ESPN app and see Chelsea winning again. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love to see it. I I wouldn't mind a 3-2 comeback like you did. That would be pretty cool. So just so we don't have to blow out every game. But I'm impressed by both teams. I'm impressed with Arsenal. The way they're coming back to form, not to where they are right now, if you guys know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I'm impressed with how they played in these past 9 games. Good job. You guys went from completely shit. Or how many games were they undefeated?
I believe it's 8.
8 games. Whatever. I'm impressed with the fact that you did that. Coming into the season playing complete ass like you were. Very impressed with how they got to the place where they're at. But, at the end of the day, you're exactly where everyone thought you would be when the first day of the season started.
Right.
My Bournemouth, I'm through the roof over. I think they're a fantastic team, dangerous team, and they're a team that are going to show up many, many big teams this season.
I think Eddie Howe's a really exciting manager.
I like him.
Yeah, I think he's really good.
He's a good lad, that lad.
He's a good boy, that boy.
He was my pick for the England manager before it was given to Gareth Southgate, which has
not a bit.
Come back to prove me wrong. Or at least, I don't know, maybe Eddie Howe would have gotten us to the final, but no, he would have been my pick before Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, no, I'm super impressed by him. I think he's had a great run.
Yeah, I just typed in Eddie Howe on Google, and the first thing that popped up was Eddie Howe obituary.
Oh, shit.
So,
it's not looking good, Ed.
Watch out. Okay, let's talk about fantasy football. Mohamed still leading. I didn't have a very good week, did I? I actually forgot to set my lineup for the first time this season. Hopefully.
Me too.
Hopefully, me too. 54 points. Hopefully it won't happen again. But I'm losing ground to Garrett. Garrett,
I'm coming.
13 points behind me at this point. And I've completely obliterated my closeness to Mohamed at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're terrible.
No, he's way out.
I apologize to my guys. Honestly, I apologize to Fabianski. I apologize to Bellerin. Apologize to Hazard, who had to carry my team on his back this week.
It sucks for him sometimes too, because the pressure that he gets from being the best player in Europe, while he's the best player in Europe, really, maybe he gets flustered by being the best player in Europe, which is the best player in Europe.
Maybe. Speaking of the best player in Europe, let's go to the best player. The Ballon d'Or is it the best player in Europe or is it the best player in the world?
World, buddy.
Okay. Saw a nice little statistic today that Mo Salah is number 1 in voting. In voting by fans. Yeah.
Why?
I want to do like a quick message to the Egyptian and Liverpool fan base, who, I mean, we're going to alienate a lot of people here, but get a grip of your life. If you're going online and skewing a vote just because of how much you, quote-unquote, love a player, get a grip of your life.
He hasn't had a good season.
There are so many players better. And to take it one step further, I was looking at some statistics for the Ballon d'Or. Karim Benzema, I think, over the year scored 12 goals and is up for the Ballon d'Or.
Yes.
Insigne,
over Ciro Immobile.
That's it. Immobile. Or Immobile, or however you pronounce his name. He almost scored a goal a game, and he didn't even make the short list.
40 goals, and Karim Benzema made
it's a joke.
So at this point, the whole process is just a complete joke. There's no point. David De Gea didn't make the list, but you have players like Alisson and Courtois making the list. They're great goalkeepers, but none of them are as good or had as good of a year as David De Gea. And how does he not make the list? How does Immobile not make the list? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. So back to fantasy football. Maybe next week. Next week we'll talk about
Mo Salah, one season wonder.
Yeah, and again,
he's not a one season wonder. He
started last year the same way he started this year. It's whether he can come out of this slump.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know if he can. I predicted at the start of the year, we can go back to episode 1. I do not think Salah is going to recreate what he did last season.
Yeah.
And it's one of the main reasons that I didn't draft him in my team.
I would be surprised if he got 20 goals.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So anyway, Hazard was the big points getter for me with 14. I only got 36 points and Hazard got 14 of them, so that's pretty pathetic from on my team. Mohamed, you did pretty well across the board, to be honest. It was only Sterling that got Sterling and Zaha. Oh, and Firmino. Oh, and Pereira.
Yeah.
Okay, my entire argument was is just gone. Wilson got you 14 points, so that's a great guy to have up front for you.
I purchased him
Speaking of Bournemouth.
last week. Last week I purchased him. Not a bad player. I don't think he's good for me.
And then Garrett was the points leader for the week, 59 points. Still sticking with the 4-3-3. Not bad.
My defense got me a lot of points this week.
Yep, they did. I mean, I can't blame 4 at the back when they all get 6 points each.
You're right.
Yep. So if we're looking at the league right now, Mohamed's still in first place with 427 points. I am in second place with 385, so not too far behind. But Garrett is closing the gap, and quickly, 372 points. So now I've got 2 weeks off, basically, to gather myself.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. I've already set my team, but Luke Shaw did just withdraw from the England squad through injury, so hopefully it's precaution. Nothing wrong with him. We'll see. But looking forward, if what you say is true, Mohamed, and Hazard is the best player in Europe, and then by extension, I would say if you're the best player in Europe, you're the best player in the world.
Exactly.
Because who's better right now, other than Wayne Rooney, considering his score, considering his goal record for DC United right now?
I think
Yeah.
Marta from Brazil is better.
Yeah, but can he do it on a cold rainy night in Stoke is the real question.
That is the only question.
I don't think anyone can.
True. So I got to get my guys together. That's what I got to do. I got to sit them down. I've got to say, play with passion. I've got to do Mourinho and say,
Yeah.
go out
he's-
there. Okay, fantasy. That's it. We'll
Yeah.
be back in 2 weeks with that one.
I'm coming for you.
Uh-oh. Okay, next up, and lastly, we will have our quiz. It is back after a long hiatus. Mohamed still leads 4-3 because obviously we haven't
I'm the
done the
best.
quiz for about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But I compiled it yesterday, and then obviously with all of the technical difficulties that we had, you guys have had an extra day to prepare. Nobody knows the questions but me, and the same rules apply. You have to answer the question faster than the other person. There are no buzzing, there's no you say your name to buzz in or anything like that. The first person to answer the question correctly gets the point. If you answer the question incorrectly, you are not allowed to answer the question again until the other person has answered. Or at least attempted to answer. So cue suspenseful music. And here we go. Arsenal continue to turn their season around with a 5-1 win over Fulham at the weekend, but how many games have they now won in a row?
8 games.
Incorrect.
I didn't even hear the fucking question.
Are you high?
I was trying to, but then Gary was like, "Hey!"
I'll try again.
How many games have Arsenal won in a row, Mohamed?
8.
That's what I just said, and I was wrong.
No, it's 9.
Correct.
No, he was incorrect.
No, it's 9. Because I knew when I was talking about Arsenal, and I said 9 games undefeated, and I was like, wait, how much did they win? You said 8. I was like, that's wrong, but I'm going to just go with it, because it's Garrett, I fucking care about him and stuff.
All right.
Question
let him...
number 2. Which 2 Premier League legends look likely to take over at Aston Villa?
Ooh.
Steve Bruce was sacked last week after a cabbage was thrown at him.
Say the question again.
Which 2 Premier League legends...
John Terry.
Well, there's 2 of them. It's also... This is for 2 points.
Oh.
John Terry is 1, so you get 1 point at least. This would be a joint manager role. It wouldn't be manager-assistant manager, I believe.
It would be?
It would be joint managers. I don't think it's manager-assistant manager. I think they would both be manager.
I have no idea.
Frank Lampard.
Incorrect.
John
He's
Terry.
not leaving
and...
Derby for shit.
Can you tell me what club the other guy played for?
It would give it away.
No, I don't know, Drogba?
No.
That's my guess.
He is currently based in England, but not in management.
Giggs.
Incorrect. He's in management. He manages Wales.
Oh, he does?
He was. It's Thierry Henry and John Terry.
Oh, really? Wow.
What a group.
Yeah, until it just takes a nosedive.
It'd be John Terry as assistant, probably.
I don't believe it's going to be anybody's going to be assistant there. honestly.
Oh, it'd be a joint.
Co-managers.
Correct, yeah.
Ah, that's saucy.
As far as I know. Anyway, question number 3, Mohammed. You currently lead 2-0. And if you get this question correct, it's over. We don't even need to answer the last.
Yeah, we will just to and we won't.
Just for my pride.
Yeah.
Just so Garrett doesn't sound like a little bitch.
And I want you to. So you have to get as close as possible to the actual quote. And I will decide who is closest, and that's that person that gets the point. Question number 3. Jose Mourinho is under investigation by the FA after mouthing something in Portuguese at the cameras after Manchester United's 3-2 win against Newcastle. What is he reported to have said?
You fucking
Get in there!
You fucking taking a piss!
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I have no idea.
I mean, you were both really far away, so I'm not going to give the point to anybody. But he supposedly said, "Stick it up your ass, you sons of bitches."
Wow.
In Portuguese.
Nice. Hilarious.
What a lovely language.
What a lad. Good boy, that boy.
Yeah. Question number 4. Garrett, you really need this. Who
I know.
said this week, quote, "I feel sensations under Sarri I never thought I'd feel again"?
Mohammed, do you know?
Bit racy of a quote.
Sensations under Sarri, I never thought I'd feel again.
Sensations under Sarri.
He's Googling it.
I promise you I'm not, because I have no idea.
No, I really don't know either. I'm going to take a guess, and it's going to be...
I want to guess too after him.
No, you go first. Ladies first.
You go.
No, Garrett, you go first, 'cause you
Jose
need the point.
Mourinho.
I mean, you can kind of count out anybody that doesn't play for Chelsea at this point.
David Luiz.
Incorrect.
Damn it!
Mohammed?
That does play for Chelsea?
Well, who else would it be?
Oh.
Yeah, why would they feel sensations if they don't play there? If it's Alvaro Morata, I'm going to kill myself.
Eden Hazard.
Incorrect. It was Cesc Fabregas.
Really?
Oh.
Which means that Mohammed does win this portion of the quiz in kind of the most non-dramatic way possible. But I am going to I'm going to ask the question number 5. After a disappointing start to the Premier League season, how many goals does Mo Salah currently have?
1?
Mo Salah?
Incorrect. Mo Salah.
2.
Incorrect. It's 3. Come on, Jesus.
These were tough, man.
Come on, I'm trying to make them easy. But as you know, so that is the end of the round 1 of the quiz, and it puts Mohammed at 5-3. But as you know, there is the team that you guys need to take turns in talking through. I only have 11. I only have 11 today, 11 players.
Okay. So
because it is the 2014-15 Premier League Team of the Year. 2 wrong in a row and you are out.
14-15. Can you tell me really quick who won the league that year? Was that Chelsea?
Yes.
Okay.
In 2014-15, Chelsea won the league by 8 points over Manchester City, Arsenal 3rd, and Manchester United finished 4th. Mohammed, since you won round 1, you get to go first.
Eden Hazard.
Correct.
14-15. I'm gonna say was man, this is, I'm trying to think. Let's say, is Harry Kane in there?
He is correct.
Okay, good.
Aguero.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Kyle Walker.
Incorrect.
Really? Who was
do you
right
need
back
this?
then?
I really do.
Quit googling it. I can feel it. Share your screen with me.
De Gea.
Correct.
I knew it was him. I was thinking it wasn't, but it was.
Oh no. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Do it now. Do it good. Come on, Garrett.
I really, I'm not sure. Was
Chelsea won the league, so bet that there's going to be more than
more than Hazard.
I know. I'm debating in my mind whether or not David Luiz played for PSG that year.
PSG.
I'll say Azpilicueta.
Oh,
incorrect.
Fuck! I already lose. Wow.
Of the team.
Beep, 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 beep. Mohamed takes a 6-3 lead overall. He's pulling away like he's pulling away in fantasy football. I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah, no, it's not fun anymore.
So I'm going to go through the team for you. Congratulations, Mohamed.
Azpilicueta didn't. Wait, that was going to be my fucking choice. So wait, Azpilicueta was not in the team of the season?
So I will go through the team right now. Azpilicueta was not in the first team. I don't know if he was in the second team or the subs bench or something. I know they kind of do that thing. I'm only doing the first 11. So goalkeeper, David De Gea. Branislav Ivanovic, John Terry, Gary Cahill, and out of left field, Ryan Bertrand.
What?
A midfield consists of Alexis Sanchez, Nemanja Matic, Philippe Coutinho, and Eden Hazard. 3 of those 4 are on different teams now. And then up front, Diego Costa and Harry Kane.
Interesting. That was tough.
It was tough. I may make it easier next year by doing...
Next year?
I may make it easier next week, but I don't know how yet.
We have to wait a whole year for this?
Yeah.
Well, it depends how many
with the technical difficulties, yeah.
Hey, guys.
Damn it.
All right, boys. Well, we made it to episode 10.
What a shit appearance.
It's a landmark, I would say. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's
landmark
huge.
appearance, episode 10.
We're drinking champagne.
We've had 10 international caps.
Hey.
So next week we're going to try... I will be flying down to your neck of the woods on Friday, so we will definitely try to record an episode together.
Yeah, for the first time.
How that will happen without hardware, I'm not sure. I'll do some research tomorrow and try and figure it out. So regardless of whether we do record together in the same room, next week we will have a special episode considering it is an international break. Details of that will come soon. So we will talk to you next week. Goodbye from me.
Stay sexy, everyone.